Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, Wes Richardson Unfiltered. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are doing a beer can chicken. That's right, chicken with a beer can. So it sounds complicated, but it's not. If I'm ever having family friends come over, this is usually kind of a go-to for me, and they think I'm some kind of grill master or something. But you'll see it's super easy. When I say grill master, I normally cook this on, I have a Traeger pellet grill that I smoke it on. But I was thinking about making this video, and not everybody has one of those, right? But everybody's got an oven. So we're gonna do it in the oven today. But again, folks, y'all know me, I'm not a chef. I only do easy meals. I'm telling you, this one is kicking. So let's get started. Folks, this is a new channel. Please push the subscribe button for me. Push it. All right, let's go over the ingredients. I meant to mention, I'm also gonna do a pasta salad too. This is super easy. So pasta salad, beer can chicken. The ingredients for the beer can chicken is a chicken. This is a 5.61 premium young chicken from Tyson's. I'm not gonna take it out of the bag till I'm absolutely ready, but obviously you'll need chicken. Next thing you'll need is a beer. If you Google recipes for this online, it says use your favorite beer. I've never been able to taste the actual beer in the chicken. I think the beer is just to help this thing stay moist, right? So, I mean, I grabbed a Bud Light. They only sell tall boys at the Walmart. I don't drink, I didn't want to buy a whole 12 pack of the little ones, so this is what we got. I'm gonna show you some beer can chicken stands here in a second. If you don't have one of these, you are gonna need the actual smaller beer. You'll see what I'm talking about in a sec. So you got your chicken, your beer, and then your seasoning. So this is what I go with. Weber Kickin' Chicken. This is what the new one looks like on the shelf. They've revamped, their marketing team has revamped things. So Weber Kickin' Chicken. Weber actually has their own beer can chicken seasoning. I just like this one. If you're wanting something that's a little less spicy, go with the beer can chicken. But this is always a go-to for me, the Kickin' Chicken. So that's it with the ingredients. We're basically gonna take this chicken, we're gonna cover it in the seasoning, and we're going to put a beer in the thing and put it in the oven. That's it. So I'll put the links of maybe some of these online, but this is what I usually use to hold my chicken. Right? So if you go to the store and get the smaller beer, like if you go buy a 12 pack and pull out the smaller one, you can use this. I like this because it's got the handles. This is another option. This is what I'm going to be using today because I don't have a little beer. But this one, same concept, but you can actually just pour the beer inside and then it just sits on here. It's made of ceramic. So now you understand why I got the big beer or why the big beer is okay. So I'll put the links in the description for those. So that's it for the beer can chicken. Pasta salad is super easy. This is suddenly pasta salad classic. They've got Caesar and all this other stuff. I just like the original. Everything you need is in this box, except for olive oil. You'll need a little bit of olive oil. I think it says 2 tablespoons. So while the chicken's cooking, we'll go ahead and make this. This one you can get as fancy as you want. Some people put like cubes of cheese in it, olives, little tomatoes and stuff like that. I don't do all that. Again, these are all simple meals, and I'm a basic dude, right? So anyway, all right, so we'll go ahead and get started. The first thing we're gonna do is take the chicken out, and we are going to douse this thing in the seasoning. Go ahead and stick it in the oven. While it's in the oven, we'll work on this. Here we go. All right, we ready? Mic check. Yeah, we're rolling. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take the chicken out of the bag. I usually do this in the sink because the seasoning is so messy. And I'll do it on top of like a big Tupperware bowl. I just clean my sink really well just in case. But anyway, take the chicken out of the bag. You're gonna need oil for this, either vegetable oil or olive. I'm gonna use vegetable oil. Take this nasty thing out. Like I said, I just like to use a big Tupperware. My sink's clean, but I just feel better about it and get rid of your nastiness. Is that a chicken neck? Is that what that is? All right, usually what I do is just, I just rinse it off. Rinse it off a little bit. After it is, I'm gonna dry it a little, maybe with some paper towels. I don't want that in my garbage disposal, whatever that is. All right, with this chicken, something I like to do, if you notice on the back of the bottom side of this, you'll see all this fat and skin. For the most part, that's okay, but I'm gonna trim some of that off. You'll see what, after it's done, it's just a big saggy piece of just fat. So I'm just gonna trim off a little bit of this. Maybe a little more on the other side. Other side's a lot better, actually. And I'm gonna cut this neck out. That's what that was inside, by the way. It was a neck, I knew what it was. Anyway, so I cut the neck out and just trimmed up the bottom so it's a little cleaner. I might trim it just a little bit more. A little bit of fat's good, but not a lot of fat. When I was cutting the neck out, or the other side, you can, this is actually the side that thought I was referring to. This is the other side where the beer actually goes. I'm gonna trim a little bit of this off. Now, be careful not to trim too much because the best part of this is gonna be the skin, in my opinion. But I usually trim about that much off the bottom. Look at all that fat. That is fat. There's skin on the other side, but that is fat. Just try to clean it up so it looks like this. So there's your head, and then there's the bottom. It really looks kind of gross. Maybe I should have just skipped this part on the video. But anyway, I like to dry mine off a little bit because y'all have heard the phrase oil and water don't mix. So if it's just soaked, the oil doesn't mix with the water, and the oil just doesn't stay on it. So just try to, it doesn't have to be super, super dry, but just try to get the bulk of it somewhat dry. Gobble, gobble. Oh, that's a turkey, isn't it? All right, so now I'm gonna squirt her down with a little bit of vegetable oil. Vegetable oil, like I said, I didn't mention this earlier. You'll need olive oil for the pasta salad, but before you season, just spray it down with some vegetable oil so the seasoning and everything sticks to it. All right, so I'm gonna try and just squirt it. Y'all see why I do this in the sink? I just kind of squirt it down, and then I'm just gonna try to rub it in a little bit. This feels so weird. Here is our kicking chicken. Y'all, I'm about to go nuts with this, okay? What I would do, just take the whole cap off. And you're gonna sprinkle and pat. Sprinkle and pat. The more seasoning, the better. And again, it's common for me to use this whole container. I want as much of this as I can on here. Put more seasoning on the meatier pieces, like the breast and the thighs. Hope you are getting the idea here. I'm trying a cinematic recording option rather than just the regular recording. I usually don't put any seasoning on the inside, maybe a little bit if I'm done, but I'm not going for the inside, I'm going for the outside. So I usually just save the majority of the seasoning, or try to put as much on the outside as I can. All right, we rolling? Mic check. We're good. All right, so now we got our chicken seasoned. We're gonna sit it on our beer can, think of a bobby. So I'm just gonna take my thing here, pour my beer in. I mentioned this earlier. It says use your favorite beer. Well, you can't really taste beer. You're not gonna taste this chicken and be like, oh man, I love that Bud Light taste. You know, I don't know, maybe do a Samuel Adams lager. I don't know. Anyway, just a beer. I don't know what it tastes like if you put like a Coca-Cola in there, or maybe a Sprite. I didn't pour the beer right. I'm out of practice. Killing me. We got our beer in almost 18 years later. Had to wait for the foam. Here she comes. You ready, Coco? Oh man. Voila. Look at her. Yeah, she just sits on it. So that ceramic one that I have has got a bigger radius on the bottom, so it helps it sit up straight better. And that's it. That's it. You put it in the oven and wait for it to be done. I'm gonna put it in the oven. Let's see. I can't believe I've looked up the temperature of this 3 times now and I can't remember it. Now I'm gonna have to stop the recording and go check again. 350. Dang. All right, so we're gonna cook it at 350 degrees. It should take about between an hour and 1 hour and 15 minutes. And it's important for the internal temperature to hit 165. That's standard with chicken. 165 internal temperature, 350 degrees in the oven from an hour to, it should take an hour to hour and 15 minutes. Okay, one thing that's gonna make your life a lot easier, I'll see if I can put the link for this in the description. This is a wireless thermostat. So this is one we found on Amazon. You just plug it in and then it tells you on your phone the internal temperature. So, and when I stick this in, I usually put it in the thickest part of the meat, which is gonna be the breast, which is gonna be right here on the front. And also when you stick it in, you don't want it to be touching a bone. You don't wanna be touching a bone. A bone will tell you a incorrect reading. The bone's gonna get hotter on the inside. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the oven. And I'm gonna go get Bryce to ask him, how do I use this damn thermostat? Okay, we ready? We're ready. All right, so like I mentioned, I'm gonna put it in vertical. Something else I forgot to mention, my oven has 2 racks. I took one of them out. The remaining I put all the way down at the bottom, and that's where I'm gonna put the chicken. And then again, just give it a shot. I don't know if it matters, but I'm gonna put it in vertically. Oop. Good? We're good. All right, while that's cooking, let's do the pasta salad. All right, like I said, while the chicken's cooking, we'll go ahead and do our pasta salad. Y'all, this is super easy to do. You literally just boil the noodles and get your seasoning mix together. And then when the noodles are done, you drain the water and add the seasoning mix to it. That's it. So I'll go ahead and boil the noodles and I'll show you how to mix it. All right, got the water heating up. I don't know if anybody else does this, but whenever I boil something or boil water, I fill up my pot with like hot water, and that way it cuts back boiling time. I don't know if anybody else does that, or if you try to tell me it affects the noodles, I don't know. I don't know. Put it in the comments. But anyway, you know, with these recipes where we're talking about boiling noodles, it always tells you how much water to put in. This one says fill a 3-quart saucepan 2/3 full of water. We're gonna drain all the water anyway, so I never really pay attention to how much water to put in. I got it 2/3 full, and I'm gonna wait for it to boil and then put the noodles in. So anyway, let's go ahead and make the seasoning mix for the pasta salad. So inside the box, you got your little packet here of seasoning. So again, super easy. It's gonna need 3 tablespoons of cold water and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So let me go put my water in. All right, water is in. Now what are we doing? 3 tablespoons of cold water and 2 tablespoons of olive oil or vegetable oil. We're gonna use olive oil for this one. 1, 2. All right, now we just add the seasoning and mix it together. Sometimes I wonder, do y'all need to see every single thing I do? Like like when I'm making these cooking videos, sometimes I'm like, oh, they don't need to see that. They know that, but then, you know, I mentioned this in one of my other videos. When I came home from the Army, I didn't know how to cook. I mean, I know how to like do ramen noodles or something like that. And I just kept making mistakes. Like, for example, the first time I cooked spaghetti, I called my sister. I'm like, I cooked spaghetti, but the noodles were, they were all sticking together and stuff. And she told me, she's like, well, after you boil the noodles, you got to rinse them off with cold water. Had no clue. Had no clue, right? So that's why when I'm making these videos, I try to keep them shorter because nobody wants to watch a 30-minute video on how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? But, you know, sometimes you think people know stuff and they just don't, right? I didn't know to rinse those noodles off with cold water. You would think everybody knows how to boil noodles. I mean, I didn't. So I try to keep them short, but I try to keep them informative as well. Seasoning, I'm just gonna mix it up and I'm just gonna let it sit until my noodles are done. Once the noodles are done, I'll drain the noodles, add this. So the thing with the pasta salad, if you've got friends or family, I like to eat mine cold. You can serve it as soon as it's done, but I like to boil my noodles, pour this in, and then put it in the refrigerator. And usually if like family or somebody's coming, I will do that like early in the morning when I'm trying to clean the house, it's like, just get it out of the way. I'll go ahead and cook it and put it in the refrigerator and just wait till dinner time. I like mine cold. So you can eat it cold or hot. So when this is done, I'm just gonna stick it in the refrigerator. So anyway, if you prefer it cold, just stick it in the refrigerator. You can do this thing at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning before anybody gets around, before people start moving. Throw it in the fridge, and then you're ready. All right, noodles are done. I've heard where you can take a noodle and throw it up against the wall, and if it sticks, it's done. I've never done that. If that's true, let me know. Never done that. I usually just take one out and chew on it and see if it's too chewy or whatever. But anyway, if that works, let me know. So I'm gonna drain these, and you do have to rinse these with cold water. Let me make sure. Drain pasta, rinse with cold water, and drain well. So let's do that now. Here's my nudes. Drained well. Not really, it's leaking all over my counter. So just throw it in your bowl here. So take your mix that you made earlier, and all you gotta do is pour this in, stir it up, and put it in the refrigerator until you're ready. Or you can heat it hot. Eat it hot. But you get the idea, right? Look at that. People don't think you are Martha Stewart chef, and it's right out the box. Especially with that beer can chicken. But yeah, with this, I'm done. I literally just put the lid on, put it in the refrigerator, and let it get cold and pull it out for dinner when I'm ready. Nom nom. All right, we're done. 165-degree internal temperature, and it took the full hour and 15 minutes. So super important. As soon as that internal temperature hits 165, take it out. You don't want it to get dry. So let's see what she looks like. Oh man. Whoa, I dripped some. Look at her. Oh, too close. Nom nom. All right, I don't know how to cut up a chicken, but we're gonna give it a shot. All right, it's about to get real. I'm gonna take this beer can ceramic thing out, and then I'm gonna try and carve this thing. I don't know how to carve a chicken. I mean, I know how to get the chicken off the bone, but it's not gonna be, you'll see. So anyway, let me get the beer can thing out, and then we'll start cutting it. Ooh. Yeah, so I'm looking inside the thing. I know you can't see it, but maybe only a ½ inch of the beer evaporated or did its thing. It's almost full. So, all right, here we go. So usually the first thing I do, you can see the leg there. I try to cut right there on that joint. This is like a bread knife, but it works wonders. Cut that joint. Oh, yeah, not the best, but that works. So there's your leg. Whoa, damn it. Go ahead and do the other side. Oh man, this is so juicy. I mean, don't get much better than that. Y'all see what I was talking about? The skin, don't cut too much off. The skin is what holds all that seasoning and that flavor. So yeah, cut some off, but not too much.
I'm gonna just put mine directly in the middle and just try to cut down. And break that breastplate.
All right, so not the best presentation, but I'm very happy with it. Let's see if it tastes good. We'll get Bryce in here to do a taste test. Okay, so we have our taste tester again, Bryce. Y'all know Bryce? Bryce from West Fishing. So you wanna try the white meat first? My mouth watering. Is it good?
It's really good.
Is it better? Can you tell the difference between this and cooking on the smoker like we normally do?
Very slightly, but
Slightly. It's like maybe just not smoke taste.
Mm-hmm.
You want to try a piece of the dark meat? It's just falling off the bone. Did I pass?
I approve.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you. Got the thumbs up. Speaking of thumbs, I'm cutting the chicken. All right, that's it. Beer can chicken. Like I said, cosmetically, it doesn't look that great. And pasta salad. Easy peasy. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it helps somebody. Please do me a favor and push the little subscribe button for me. Push it. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.